And this video is about refraction of light at plane surface. So for this one, for this topic, what we need, what's a law of refraction? So quick recap for law of refraction. Basically, law of refraction means incident ray, normal, refracted ray lie on same plane. First point. Second point, mu1 into sin I is equal to mu2 into sin r. So for this purpose, we need to use that law of refraction formula. In previous video, you can see that is their law of refraction formula. That is also called a Snell's law. Now, for this one, we take one medium separator, just like this one is one line. Below this medium, we are taking it's a denser medium, and above that medium, that is called rarer medium. We are taking as a denser and rarer medium. Means, let's say refractive index of this medium is mu2, and this one is mu1, and I am assuming mu2 greater than mu1. So, if mu2 greater than mu1, it means this one is denser medium and this one is rarer medium. Now, one object is there in this denser medium, and distance of this object, you can speak it's a AB. Distance of this object AB, like A, and this one is B. So distance will be AB, or else you can speak small d, that distance is there. Okay, and if you are looking this object from here, you feel like that the distance is not AB, that distance will be slightly less than AB. That is called apparent depth. Like, yeah, if I give better example, like real time example for that one, in swimming pool, if you see the bottom point of swimming pool from outside, you feel like that the depth is less, but actually depth is more. Let's say swimming pool depth is 5 feet, and if you are looking from outside, you feel like that the depth is not 5 feet, it's approx 3 feet or something like 4 feet. So why apparent depth is there? Because of refraction of light on the plane surface. There is refraction when light is coming from water to human eye. In that case, there is a refraction. Because of that refraction, you feel like that depth of swimming pool is not actual one. It's a slightly less than actual one. Apparent depth will be less than actual one. So to explain that concept, if you are looking object from here, so basically light ray should start from this point, start from here, and it should enter in human eyes. Human eye will be somewhere here. Somewhere here human eye will be there, and light ray should start from object and it must enter in human eye in order to see the object. So light ray is starting from here and it must enter in human eye, but this medium is denser medium and this medium is what? Rarer medium. So if one medium is denser, second one is rarer. So if light travel from denser medium to rarer medium, it will go away from the normal. It means it's a shift away from the normal. So if I take this line and this line is a normal, one line I take, this line is normal. It means this line must went away from the normal. It means rather than going like straight in this way, this line will go in this way. It will shift a bit. It means this light ray will enter in human eyes, this one. So a straight line of this light ray, we are able to see the object. A straight line of this light ray. This is straight line of this. A straight line of this. This is the straight line of this one. So we are able to, just like this one is a straight line, I'll make another color. So this one is a straight line. This way we are able to see the object, a straight line. So basically object is somewhere here at point B, but we are not able to see at point B, we are able to see at point C. So actual depth of this object is AB, but apparent depth of this object is what? AC. So that's why you feel like that its bottom point of swimming pool shifted up. So actually I want to calculate what will be value of AC and how much shift will be there, what's the value of BC. So for that purpose we are taking this one mu2, this one mu1, and let's say this thing is K. This point is K, this point I am taking K. This line is normal, this one is normal, so and this one is incident ray. This is incident ray. This blue color line is incident ray, and we know angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence. So this is called angle of incidence. And angle between normal and refracted ray. So if you see, this is refracted ray and this one is normal. So this is called angle of refraction. So if you see this triangle, this angle is I. So this angle will be also equal to I. This angle will be equal to Y. What's the reason for that? I tell you this thing. Reason for this one is, if I make this, if this angle is I, we know using geometry we can write this angle will be also I. Similarly, if this angle is R, so this angle will be also equal to R. Again, we can use geometry for that. See, if this angle is R, this one is R, so this one will be also equal to R. So this angle is I and this one is R. Just use geometry for this one. Now, if you look at this triangle, this one. This line is AB. This is A, this is B, this one is I, this one is K. So if I write sin I over here, so sin I or else tan I, I'll write tan I is equal to AK divided by AB. AK divided by AB, equation 1. And tan I must be equal to sin I. Why tan I sin I equal? Because I is very small. So if angle is very small, in that case in place of tan you can write sin, you can also write I. Means in place of tan I you can write sin I, you can also write I. Whatever you need in the derivation you can write. So I can write tan I can also write sin I is equal to AK divided by AB, because this one angle is very small, so we can speak this one is also equation 1. Let be equation 1 only. Both are same thing. What I did in place of tan I wrote sin I. Now, if you look at the another triangle, this one, second triangle, this triangle. This thing is what? A, this one is C, this one is R, and this one is K. Again, what I can write? Tan R I can write that will be AK divided by AC. AK divided by AC. So tan R is AK divided by AC, and tan R will be equal to sin R. Why tan R will be equal to sin R? Again same thing, R will be very small angle, so I can also write this thing sin R. So basically what I got final thing, sin I can write equal to tan I sin I equal, I can write AK divided by AB, that is sin I. This is first thing. And second thing, sin R, what I can write? Sin R is equal to AK divided by AC. This one is second. So this is first equation, let it be, this one second equation. Okay, first, second already we did. Let's say this one is third equation, then this one is what? Fourth equation. So if I use third equation and fourth equation, in that case if I equate these two, how you can equate these two? Basically I want to use Snell's law. So how to use the Snell's law over here? If I use Snell's law in this one, in that case what I can write, let's go to next page, what I can write, mu2 into sin I is equal to mu1 into sin R. This is Snell's law. I'll use over here. So if I use that Snell's law in this one, see, mu2 into sin I is equal to mu1 into sin R. Refractive index of this medium into sin of this is equal to refractive index of this medium into sin of this. That's what Snell's law is. So if I use Snell's law, mu2 into sin I is equal to mu1 into sin R, and we know what's a sin I and sin R. So sin I we know, sin I is equal to AK divided by AB, and sin R AK divided by AC. So I'll put that value over here. If I put that value over here, so what I'll get? Mu2 into sin I, so that will be mu2 into sin I, that is AK divided by AB, and here it's a mu1 into that is what? AK divided by AC. Alright. Now you know AK and AK get cancelled, so AK and AK get cancelled. So finally what I'll get? AC is equal to AC, that will be equal to mu1 divided by mu2 into AB. So if you see, this is one formula we got. Now what is AC? It's a upper end depth. How it's upper end depth? If you see this previous diagram, what is AC? This is upper end depth. This is AC. This is upper end depth. And what is AB? What is AB? If you see that, AB is what? Actual depth. So AC is upper end depth and AB is what? Actual depth. So actual depth of this object is AB and AC is what? Upper end depth. So in this one we can write Actual depth, or else we can write apparent depth. Apparent depth means AC is apparent depth is equal to mu1 divided by mu2 into real depth. See, one more thing you need to remember in this one. Mu1 and mu2, anything can be rarer and denser, but whatever medium will be denser, that will be denominator. Means this can be mu2 by mu1 as well. So whatever will be in denominator, so that should be denser medium. If you are talking about shift, upward shift, you are talking about how much it will be shifted. Apparent depth, if you are talking about, in that case, this should be there. Now, if you look at this diagram, how much this image is shifted up, how much this image is going up, BC. Actual position of this image is what? B. But because of this refraction, image forming at C, it means how much image shifted up? BC. So we can write BC is equal to, if we see BC is equal to, I can write AB minus AC. BC is equal to, this BC is equal to AB whole thing minus AC. So if I write BC is equal to AB minus AC, so in that case what I'll get? BC is equal to AB minus AC, and you already know AC is equal to this. So I put this value of AC over here. So BC is equal to AB minus mu1 divided by mu2 into AB. So if I take AB common, so finally what I'll get? BC is equal to BC is equal to 1 minus mu1 divided by mu2 into AB. So if we look at this, what is BC? BC is basically, it's a how much image is shifted. See, this is BC. How much this image shifted, this is BC. Image shifted. And BC is how much image shifted up. And what's the AB? Actual depth. Mu1 is rarer medium and mu2 is denser medium. So BC is shifting of image. How much image shifted upwards? So this is BC. How much image shifted upwards? So we can write BC is equal to shift. Shift is equal to 1 minus mu1 divided by mu2 into, this is what? Real depth. So shift is equal to real depth into 1 minus mu1 divided by mu2. So this is formula to find out shift in case of a plane surface refraction.